Well, hey there, Deepthroat. It's been a while.
Hello, Dutch. Yeah, it's been a while.
You ready for a roller coaster of a ride that's called Thomas Jefferson?
I'm ready. I liked
I'll,
the little teasers we had last week of Thomas Jefferson.
yes, because of his broship with
Yeah,
John Adams.
I'm sure you
Yes.
read a little bit about that.
A little bit. Um, I do think they were all just like a bunch of dude bros. It feels very like the founding fathers feels a little
Like
bit
high
like
school?
gatekeeper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like they're all like just a bunch of dude bros. Like, man, we start a revolution. Hey, let's all just like lead the country now. And it's like,
yeah, and they're all like lawyers. They probably just went
Yeah.
to law school together.
just went on a power trip. And they're like, man, we just create a country. Let's run it now. Let's something crazy.
Let's write something. That's what they did. Is they all like took like writing classes and logic classes, and then they just created laws. I guess. I don't
Do you
know.
think there was like a president improv class so they all like went and
Yeah,
like did
secret.
really shitty
They
improv
they
together?
practiced doing speeches, like Toastmasters,
Ugh, gross.
and they're always yes-anding each other.
Just a bunch of
Did you ever do
men in
improv
powder
stuff?
wigs.
Yeah, yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I've always thought about it because I feel like I do love a good banter.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I have the I don't know, strength of ego to fully go through with it. If that makes sense.
Well, this
feel
is
like
improv.
That's true, but I feel like it's with friends, right? It's the whole
Oh, right.
strangers things that I whatever. I'm cool when it's like if I go with like five other people that I know personally, then I'm like okay, cool, and I've got like a home base to like lean upon.
Have you ever like paid to go to an improv show?
I mean, I've gone to like a comedy improv show, not like
Oh,
your
yeah?
classic like, I don't know, like one where this is give us a restaurant. I haven't gone to like one of those like a sketch comedy like that, but I've gone to like themed ones. There's actually a Dungeons and Dragons comedy show that I used to go to that I think might be coming back now that the old Rona has shut the world down. And what they do is they basically play a game per se, but it's more of like an improv show, and the audience rolls the dice to see how well they do at certain events and like how good or bad they need to perform in their like sketch thing. And it's the story's all based in like in the town that we live in. It has callbacks to certain places of business, and I forget what sort of like the historical places of our town. So there's like a nice little like call to back. That was pretty good. Yes.
But were they
hey.
playing Dungeons and Dragons though? I guess so.
Kind of. They weren't playing like they weren't being like strict with the actual rules, what you could and couldn't do. Like each of them had a character that there was like their dungeon, like there was a necromancer that had like a gross little hand, and like his wife had died and like a past, I guess. And like the sessions go like every like session they do, it's like the next episode of their campaign or whatever, and they're just like kind of going around. And then there are like 2 or 3 people who will be in like an all black outfits, and they'll be NPCs, and they'll just like randomly get like a hat prop and like pretend to be the like town crier or the lonely child in the road, and they just have to be all the NPCs, which is really fun.
That'd be fun to do. I think we have the chops.
Do we?
Yep.
Oh, yep. Confirmed. Well,
I'm certain of it, Dutch.
I'm certain of it. I think we've got a long road ahead of us, but definitely a fruitful one.
At least 50. Should we do a countdown to our last episode? What is this? 3 minus 43 to go.
Yeah, I mean, and technically there's an election coming up, so that's going to increase by the time we get there.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be out of office by the time we get there. It wouldn't take us 2 years to get there.
Wait, what election? Yeah, the American election?
Yeah, aren't they having one soon? Isn't the...
Not for presidents. So they had the midterms last week. And nothing really changed.
Classic
politics. Nothing
Classic
ever
politics.
changes.
Well, I will let you know that Thomas Jefferson is definitely not my favorite president.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, spill it. What's his controversies?
So, I'll give you a little tidbit of kind of
This
what he
asshole,
did.
Thomas Jefferson.
Well, I mean, hey, this is also history from hundreds of years ago. Yeah, hundreds of years ago.
John Adams didn't have slaves. That's the bar right now.
Yes, but Thomas Jefferson did. He owned, I wrote down Big L semicolon, owned more than 600 slaves.
Minus points. Minus 600
Minus points. But yeah, he was born 1743 and died 1826, as we learned last time.
On the 50th.
The same
50th
day
anniversary of the
John Adams?
Declaration of Independence.
50,
And
wow.
it's
The
like the
memory,
Notebook.
the knowledge.
Cute, very cute.
Right, so the John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were the Notebook of the Founding Fathers. Which I realized as well, what's kind of crazy too, is how we were saying with the Boys Club, is how they were the Founding Fathers. There were 7 of them, and most of them became presidents after, except for Hamilton.
Yeah, I wonder why he... No, I know why he didn't become president. It's because someone that... I think his son died.
Oh, and he was like
I'm fed up with this shit.
I'm too distraught. The one I'm interested to know about, because I'm pretty sure James Madison is a president. I don't know who John Jay is, though. He was one of the Founding Fathers, but I don't think he was a president either. But I'd have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Thomas Jefferson was the Secretary of State to Washington, and then the Vice President to John Adams, and then the President. So like he was like, hey, I want to be a politician, so I was a politician.
Was he a lawyer too, like the rest of them? Or?
Yeah, he was a lawyer, diplomat, architect, philosopher. He was a minister to France. Was like the liaison between like the I guess after the Civil War between him and France. So he was just like, I am a smart dude, and I'm gonna do everything. And my name's Thomas Jefferson.
They really did it all. You know, it's we actually kind of know what we're talking about now. We're knowledgeable.
Well, I feel like it's just a stack, right? You just like each president kind of they like Venn diagram together a little bit.
Yeah, we're learning.
He actually founded the University of Virginia.
Oh, really?
Because he loved books. Yeah. Yeah, but then he went. So they sent him. Wait, let me backtrack. He was married for 10 years to a woman named Martha Wales or Whaley.
Martha Washington. That's
no.
Oh.
Everyone was named Martha back then. I think it was like the New World Marie. Like, you know how like you like Jesus Christ and like Mary and Marie, like very Baptist. I think Martha is like a derivative of that, so everyone was just named Martha.
Really?
Because there's Martha's Vineyard in New York, which is like a big old.
That's after Martha Jefferson?
No, I think it's just after a Martha. I don't know which one it was.
An old lady.
Yeah, because there was that boat that came over that people always talk about. They're like, my forefathers came over on the whatever boat. There was like a name of this boat. And then I think Martha's Vineyard was like, I think either maybe Washington's or somebody's. Oh yeah,
I heard about
the Mayflower.
About Martha's Vineyard recently. Actually, they're
the Mayflower.
We could bring in some current politics.
Mm-hmm.
So what's his name? The governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. Mm-hmm. He sent a bunch of immigrants to Martha's Vineyard. But they weren't even. Oh, sorry, I'm getting too excited here. They weren't even from his state. he had to go to another state that was on the border just so he could pick up a bunch of immigrants and send them somewhere else.
And then didn't he do that just to like disrupt them?
I think
they were sent without like knowledge of what was really happening.
Yeah, but I think like the funny thing is they ended up like having a pretty alright time. Like everyone was like, "Oh, we're like progressive people here.
Oh, cool! Look at this beautiful
here's
ocean.
A bunch of money. Yeah. Here, live at my house." And then they're like, "Oh, this is great. Actually, we're happy we came."
Wow.
So it's kind of funny how things work out. And then Ron DeSantis got his headline.
It's true.
Everyone wins.
Did he get like bad press or like that like good bad press or whatever it was?
He got good press from the people that vote for him, and then bad press from the people that don't.
Got it. All right. Well, hey, and then we're just where midterms happen, and we're right where we were before.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. The status quo.
You know, it'd be an interesting thing to learn. What did like the people back then think of these presidents? Like, did they even know who they were?
Yeah, that's interesting because it's not. I
They
mean,
didn't have the
there
internet.
wouldn't be. There wouldn't be internet. You definitely get like a pamphlet. There'd probably be some sort of like written like newspaper that they would read about.
Because
I
what?
do.
Go ahead.
I do think George Washington was probably like a hometown hero type of guy who was like, I got rid of the Brits, and they're like, man, I love that guy and his powdered wig.
But they like the people of the countries didn't even vote for these guys. They voted like within
No.
each. That's why they were always like each person's like vice president and stuff, because they were just voting for within their little
For each other.
group there.
Yeah, they're like, oh, my buddy
Yeah.
helped me do this, so I'm gonna make sure
Give
that
them a one-up vote.
he's president next. Yeah.
So I wonder. I'm curious. Like, did people even care?
I don't know, because it's like, I feel like in like royalty countries, right, you'd have like your lower class who'd be like, whatever, it's the fucking king, like, yeah, along with the queen or king, whatever. But it shouldn't like care as much. I feel like the hype of the war, probably, they were like, oh, cool, look at that, you know,
Guy in a
bad boy
wig.
Washington.
That guy on
Guy in a wig. But then, like, he goes to power, and they're like, oh, you're just basically the same thing. You just call something different.
Mm-hmm.
There's the president of the king.
Yeah, like what did presidents even do back then? I guess they were in charge of all the money, right?
Charge of the
Did they have
money,
a Federal
I think
Reserve yet?
that
Didn't
I don't know.
I think Alexander Hamilton made the Federal Reserve.
Yeah. Well, I think it was, like, basically them setting up the country, like, legally and being like, we're going to set up our own legislation and, like, country separate from the crown.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a lot of
and
work,
so-
eh?
Yeah. And, like, figuring out what your laws are, like, A, don't murder somebody in the street, but then there's, like, weird laws of, like, you can't bring a cow into, like, the road at 6 a.m.
Well,
And, like, some of those laws are still...
That's when all the traffic is, Dutch.
Well, exactly. That's because some farmer complained that Jim Bob down the road kept bringing his cows to pasture at 6 a.m. and he couldn't get down and deliver
Congestion
his
on the
wheat.
road, traffic jam.
Right? And so some of those laws are still written and, like, technically still apply, but because of our modern society, like, no longer really do anything because no one's bringing their cows to pasture in the roads.
Mm-hmm. And I guess you can't really challenge a law unless someone's charged with it, right?
Yeah.
Man, what a sloppy system we have. Thanks, presidents.
Thanks, Hamilton.
Thanks, you guys. Yeah, thanks, Jefferson. Sloppy work.
That's a big L in my books.
Yeah. My goodness, maybe I don't have a favorite president at all.
I mean, I guess we get closer to modern times, but
I don't know. I think like
I don't know.
as we get more modern, then the more their like stuff will come out, like
Yeah.
the blowjobs.
More corrupt.
Yeah.
The blowjobs.
I mean, if that's oh man, I keep getting too loud. If that's like the worst thing, surely it's not.
I mean, in reading about some of these older presidents, honestly, the blowjob for me now is like kind of not that bad.
That's kind of like wow, this guy was alright.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, he was just two consenting adults, you know, just hanging out. It's like
Just hanging out in the Oval Office.
I mean, as long as there was no, and I don't know a lot about that interaction. We'll get there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was consensual.
I wonder
I
which
think
one
he
of
was
us is.
cheating on his wife.
Wonder which one of us is going to be the one who has to do that one.
Well, depending on who wants to do it, I guess we can change the order.
That's true.
If
Maybe I'll like
you feel
be sick one day and like have to do them, and then I'll just like kind of sneak my way into getting to do.
you'll sabotage your way to get your saxophone president.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the coolest president, I will say, like, visually and, like, aesthetically, I think he's pretty cool.
He had
him and JFK.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Maybe, I don't know, I don't want, as we say, blow my load on the first three presidents, but I think, like, JFK might be, I don't know, I have to figure out what he did. Like, well, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but, like, he just went to the moon, that was pretty cool. He's just like, we should go to the moon in this decade.
Well, we'll have to talk when we get there, and I'm just putting it out there because I'm curious about it. There's like a conspiracy surrounding the JFK family as well, the Kennedys.
Oh,
like a lot of them died.
Did you hear about QAnon? What's JFK's brother's name? Was it his brother?
Oh,
Robert Kennedy. Is that?
Yeah, Bobby Kennedy or Robert Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about QAnon? They were like they went somewhere in America, and then they were like they all thought that he was gonna like appear and come back from the dead or something, and they just waited there until it happened, and then it never happened. Obviously,
like he was gonna be the next Christ, but just Bob
Kennedy
was gonna come.
And
back.
I don't know why they care about him, but
interesting.
But they never, and they're like, I guess we must have missed something, but we're still right.
The Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
It screwed us up.
The Gregorian calendar, of course.
We divided it wrong.
Oh, we should have been using the Mayan calendar.
Yeah, no, they had like a lot of like that entire family line almost. I think there's only like one or two surviving relatives. Like after I think either after JFK died or just before, there's like a bunch of people just like randomly not like assassinated, but just like died of natural causes or like accidents happened.
That's juicy.
And have you ever watched the show or seen the documentary of Grey Gardens?
Mm-mm.
So Grey Gardens is a aunt, or I guess a mother and daughter that were, I think, cousins to the Kennedys.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like your classic, like, I don't even know, like, American royalty, if you have to really say that. They were just like really connected with the political ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a documentary that went and interviewed them, and they were this family that like after the JFK Kennedy like fell, they just fell into desolate. Like their house was completely trashed. They were feeding raccoons.
Just because all their like friends died, like all
of the they've lost all their money, but they were still living like they were like the high society, and like the daughter was still waiting for like this like someone to come propose to her and sweep her away.
He's never gonna come.
But like it wasn't gonna happen, and like it's a great documentary.
What's it called? Grey Garden?
Bill
Hader?
Grey Gardens, yeah. Bill Hader did a mockumentary of it, and he played Edie. It was Big Edie and Little Edie, because they were both. It's like that classic where you name your child your own name.
Wait, so he made a mockumentary about a documentary?
He made a mock. Yeah, yes, and I think the ending's like it's like a horror film, and Little Edie and Big Edie were like killing people, but I won't spoil that, even though I did.
Well,
Anyways, it's great. Little Edie and Big Edie are great.
I'll check it out. I kind of like Bill Hader. He's kind of like he's got like a niche little. Have you ever watched Barry?
No, but it's been on my list for the longest time because I think it's like a serious but funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like
series.
A half comedy. Hold on, I'm messing with my game. He like plays like this. He's like an assassin, but he wants to be an actor.
An actor.
And he kind of like wants to be good enough to get out of the
game.
Yeah, the game of
cat and
pretty
mouse.
good, but he just can't stop killing people.
There's a character in that who's bald, and I've always seen that clip, and it's this guy hitting him screaming.
Mm-hmm. That's all I remember. I can't remember what it is. He's from some country.
Some country, yeah. But he just is like really hilarious. Like, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want everyone's the audio to peak. But it's a very chaotic scream, but also very hilarious at the same time. Well,
it's a GIF.
No, it's like a clip from the show where he like something happens and he screams, but he screams like really high pitched and like silly.
In a comedic way.
Yes, that one.
I've only seen the first season, so I'm not sure if I've seen it. That scream.
Well, now you'll know when you see it. You can let me know.
Yeah, I'll be. Hey, that's what Dutch was talking about. I'm getting to the point where I don't have to think about your name before I say it. There's not a silent, a pregnant pause.
Your brain's computing, the gears are turning.
Yeah. It's becoming enmeshed. My brain is becoming annihilated. Something like that. Tell me more about this guy, Thomas Jefferson.
Well,
what did he do for me? What did he do for me?
Well, here's the thing. He did, so married to Martha Wales.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he got majority of his slaves from his father-in-law that they inherited. They inherited
was it like a dowry?
Plantation. I think so. And it was also him like taking over kind of business. Mm-hmm. But sadly, she did die 10 years into their marriage. They had 6 kids together, but only 2 survived into adulthood.
Not good ratio.
And yeah, so then he was sent to Paris to liaison with France as the minister to France, and it's rumored that like George Washington's, John Adams, and Hamilton, all of the founding father, like the broship, sent him there to like make sure he like so he wasn't so sad boy anymore. It's like just go to France, man. Go talk to the king.
Go find a French girl
and
eat a baguette.
That's the double big L that comes up.
No.
He took some of his slaves with him, and one of the slaves, Sally Hemings, he brought with him, and when they came back, she was pregnant. And apparently there's been DNA testing, and it looks as though he'd had at least 6 kids with this woman.
Wait.
But unfortunately, she was 16 and he was 44.
Ooh.
So that's the double big L for Thomas Jefferson. Like, he was up there with the whole being, like, a smart dude and liking books, and then, pew!
Wait, what was that noise?
That was a missile falling and exploding.
maybe
I'm really good at sound effects.
Pew! Wait, so if he had 6 kids...
Yeah.
Was it in France?
No, so when they came back, so after whatever meeting or month-long conference that he needed to have with France, when they came back, she was pregnant with their first child, and they continued to have kids. Like
maybe it was love then. Well, I don't know. It's not if he owns her.
It would have been highly. It could have been possible, but it's one of those things where like ownership's involved, so it's like. Where's the line of like it's a little more complicated of like power dynamic type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that happened, but DNA tested that his line has now like there are a lot of, I think people have a lot of past or like heritage connections to Thomas Jefferson.
No,
because he had a lot of
the
kids. Bill
Clinton of his time.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's kind of a what's a tomcat, I guess. Would that be the word that they'd use back then?
I guess so. Yeah, it wasn't like I didn't really find anything that he slept around, but that's also like what is written down of that time, gossip wise, right? Like it's possible he'd been doing it for a while. It's just hers was the most, I guess, remembered or written down and historically, I don't know what the word is. What is it? Recorded? Whatever it is. But yeah,
good word.
Yeah.
Recorded history.
Recorded history. But they say that the history is usually written by the winners, so you never get the full story.
Mm-hmm. Whoever writes Wikipedia.
Yes, Mr. Wikipedia. Mr. and Mrs.
Wiki and Pedia.
Wiki. The
Mr. Wiki.
Family.
The Wiki. Yeah.
Dr. Wiki.
And PhD. Expert on everything.
Expert on everything. Yeah. And then I just have a couple little facts-ish of Tom. I've lost my mouse. Oh. He loved books. When he retired from being president, he had a library of almost 6,500 volumes in the Library of Congress. So, like, he had that. Apparently it was ransacked by the British at one point, but they were able to recover a lot. And Jefferson had a lot of debt, so he ended up, or he went into debt because he was buying so many books.
Really? I was kind of like browsing the page a bit before we got started, and I saw that he had $100,000 of debt. And that's how he got it, was buying all these books?
Yeah. I'm sure probably other things beyond that, but apparently that was his biggest thing. He's just like a law dude that loved to read books. Just a book nerd.
I wonder what $100,000 back then. It would have probably
That's
been
what I was just going to look up the conversion.
Millions of dollars.
Probably millions, yeah.
Jeez.
Because, like, back then...
Were these his books or the library books?
No, because they were his books that he ended up selling to the Library of Congress. Because he was like, I'm in debt, so hey, I've got all these books I've collected over the years from around the world.
Probably never read.
Yeah, I only read, like, the first, like, chapter, and then,
millions
like...
of dollars of books.
yeah, just, like, flip through it so he could have, like, little quips at parties to make it look like he was
just
smart.
so his
really
Zoom
he
background
wasn't.
could look like he's a reader.
He's an elite. I read books. I'm smart.
What was his when he stopped being president? Was he viewed as a good president? Do you know?
It was kind of a mix. It was like, if you considered him being like a smart intellectual, they're like, then definitely he was a good president. But I think they expected him to do a lot more than what he actually. There was nothing like big that he did during his.
Yeah, it was kind of like browsing through this, and he didn't really do much. Well, I mean,
no.
What?
Like, I think he established a lot of legislation and like established a lot of those early like laws and rules. Because I think with George Washington, it was like super fresh after the war, and then he just continued on the work I think that they all wanted to do to create America. Mm-hmm. That's what I interpreted, at least. It
says here that he distrusted government banks and opposed public borrowing, and which he thought created long-term debt. Kind of ironic for a guy who died with millions of dollars of
a
book
lot of
debt,
debt from buying books. Yeah, his indisposable income was not managed correctly.
a little bit of hypocrisy, I think.
Sorry, I'm just getting water.
Okay, I'll read a little bit about the Jefferson Hemmings controversy. So, Jefferson, I'm also making this up as I go.
Hey, hey guys, welcome. We're actually lying. These are all fake facts that we've made up.
Yeah, these people aren't even real, actually.
Yeah.
We edit
all in a
Wikipedia.
simulation.
Yeah, we're the people who write Wikipedia.
Yes, we are Dr. and Dr. Wikipedia.
Well, I guess Jefferson's on the $2 bill, I see.
Does the $2 bill exist anymore?
Mm-hmm.
No, it has to.
Let's
check it out. I know there's a dollar bill. But I don't know American currency that well. I don't even know why they have dollar bills.
Do they have dollar bills?
They have dollar bills.
Why don't they have $2 bills?
I don't know. I think that having a bill is weird. Live that coin life, you know?
Oh, you might be doxing where
Hey, a lot of countries have coins.
Is there a cool bird on there? Or a cool bear?
No, they just have the Washington State, like, on the bill, I think. It's like you get George Washington on one side, and then you just see the Capitol, but all their money's the same color.
What?
It's not.
Why do you think the Mount Rushmore, who decided who goes on there? And why did Thomas Jefferson get on there? I
think it was the main founding fathers, the first...
But why is Theodore Roosevelt on there then?
Oh, I guess that was the artist's favorite president. Maybe the sculptor of the Mount Rushmore also had a podcast with their friend for who their favorite president was.
Just 4 people,
and they couldn't pick. So there was the 4 people. But I would judge that sculptor if they picked those presidents as their favorite.
Maybe we could do, this is kind of meta gaming here, but we could maybe do something Mount Rushmore based for our thumbnail for our podcast.
Ooh, okay. So we can do like those like New York Times like cartoony Mount Rushmore, or just put question marks in front of whoever our favorite president is.
Or we could, who knows?
Or do it and there's like a empty one at the side, like an addition.
Yeah. Do you think it would be how much controversy would there be if someone like decided to add another face on Mount Rushmore?
I think there'd be, yeah. Because I think nowadays you have a lot more people siding for different political parties. Mm-hmm. So there'd be a rumble of like who it was.
Yeah.
I would love Banksy to like do something to that Mount Rushmore though. That'd be pretty cool.
Just like I don't even that'd be pretty hard to do sneakily with all the tourists.
Unless you like cause a distraction on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Of like, no one look here. I mean, the best time to have done it would be during COVID when like there's
Mr.
less
Chance
people.
Banksy.
Yeah.
Who did we talk about Banksy before?
It's possible. I don't remember it. Not on this.
Okay. Maybe I'm just having a deja vu then. Who, do you think Banksy is happy? Is he rich?
I mean, I would say that Banksy's probably happy in the general sense, but I'm not sure about his daily life, so I don't know for sure.
Do you think he like?
I don't know if he's.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely. I feel like it's a group of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I could be wrong. Who knows?
What makes you think it's a group of people?
Just because of the like distance of stuff.
Always traveling.
Or at least maybe it is one artist, but like there's definitely people in on it that have like cone of silenced it. To be able to sneak, because there's the one he did where like he sold a painting that like there was a shredder in the frame.
Yeah.
So it's like the moment they bought it, it got shredded.
And then I think it instantly the value of it went up as soon as it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it was one of a kind, and then it was like that was it.
But what are your thoughts on kids these days throwing soup at paintings?
I mean, it's kind of a funny tactic. The one thing I didn't realize until recently is they glue their hands to the walls.
Yeah.
As well.
The last one I saw was a guy glued his bald head to a Vermeer, like to the painting itself. And then everyone was starting to get mad at him, and then his friend was like, "Guys, don't worry, there's glass." And then
yeah, there's usually a protective like plexiglass over top of it, but
yeah. So like, what's their? I'm gonna make you explain their thought process to me. What's the point here?
I would surmise that they're trying to like cause a scene to get people's attention. So they listen
because I don't know
protests.
about global warming.
Yes, because they're like, hey, well, maybe not you specifically, but I think they're trying to get to different people.
I think everyone knows about global warming.
Well,
no, sorry, it's not global warming. They're talking about oil.
They're talking about oil. They're talking about like, hey, they're also talking about like, I think one of the ones was soup was about poverty, about being like, we spend millions and millions of dollars on all these things. Why aren't we giving this money to the people who can only eat a can of soup? And their whole thing was, I just threw a can of soup at this wall. It cost me 6 cents. You could have stopped me from doing that by just giving it to the people who need the food in the world, kind of thing. I see. So it's like you've got these like super billionaires. Like if they even took 10% off of their income, they would never notice it to the world. Would help everybody out.
Do they get in trouble for that, or do they get arrested or charged?
They'll get arrested, yeah, for damaging property. But they may, like, depending on their sentence or like their like willingness to say pleading guilty, they may get just like volunteer or something, depending on where they are. So I think there was the one I saw where it was the two girls throwing cans of soup at a painting, and the painting was fine. It had plexiglass in front of it. There was no damage to it. And there was like an interview afterwards, and she was like, we knew that the plastic was there. We did it just to get people's attention, get the hype about it. So I think a lot of them know that they're not actually going to damage anything. They're just like doing it to get the
to go viral.
Yeah, to go viral.
We should do that and then have a dumb reason to do it.
Ooh, like let's go. Yeah, let's throw mashed potatoes at the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and then it'll be like, we'll just like have something that's not true. Like what's something that would really
rile up the states, or just rile up just anybody.
Just like I want to do the same experiment except remove the good intentions part, but
Okay.
like I have good intentions, but I'm wrong.
Got it. So, throw mashed potatoes at the Mount Rushmore and say that, what's his face? Bill Clinton can't actually play.
I'll say that Robert Kennedy is coming back from the dead.
Yeah.
And then that's free speech, baby.
Speech, baby. That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz.
Or like throw some sort of food at Mount Rushmore and be like, "Those are I want you to change the sculpting of Mount Rushmore. These aren't my favorite presidents, and then list off the favorite presidents we want resculpted.
Yeah, this guy. We should go. This is a little bit more not a joke, but well, it is a joke. But we should go and then just we should go chop the noses off.
Nice.
The guys who own slaves.
Honestly, that adds to it. There's so many like Roman statues that are like have deteriorated.
Yeah. Do you think
that are still?
Do you think they have to like maintain like the noses?
I don't know like if it's like actual stone carved or it was like a mixed marble medium.
Oh really? So that would be so much work then. They'd have to get marble.
Yeah, I don't know when I would have to look up when the actual Mount Rushmore was made.
Let me take you on a journey here.
Tappy.
Oh, one time I was hitchhiking across the states, and then I just passed right by Mount Rushmore and I didn't even stop.
Wow.
I was like, I've seen pictures.
They saw you.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
They probably saw me. So I don't know how big. That doesn't look like it's that big actually. Maybe a couple trees.
I've never been, so I have no idea. I do like the idea of thinking that there's like a secret base inside of it, though.
Oh, is there?
Cool.
I was thinking of Richie Rich. I think it was an Austin
Powers movie.
No, you're thinking Richie Rich, aren't you?
Am I thinking Richie Rich?
Yeah.
Except Richie Rich had a McDonald's in his house.
It wasn't Mount Rushmore. It was Mount Richmore.
Oh, Mount Richmore.
It was their faces.
Right.
That's a good movie.
That's a classic movie. I want to watch.
That's Macaulay
actually
Culkin,
come up
right?
twice for me. Macaulay Culkin, yeah, that's the original, the Home Aloner.
It's a definite,
Rich.
definitely holds up in my opinion. I haven't watched it recently, but Dad came.
He just wants friends.
Yeah, he just wants friends. You know, it's a very funny. I think it's a guy who makes videos, but he like does video essays, but they're very like dry and monotone. He just kind of explains. It's a comedy, but he explains. He does one of Richie Rich. Let me see if I can find his name, so all our listeners can can look it up. Oh, speaking of our listeners, we should probably upload. Yeah. We'll upload.
Well, yeah, I was waiting on your go ahead.
Oh yeah.
We'll upload.
Yeah. We'll eventually get that.
If the technical difficulties we had from last week are fixed, then we can properly upload today.
But we need to make
this so far is my favorite episode.
Oh,
but maybe
why
that's
is
just
that?
because I don't know. I just feel like we haven't talked about Grey's Anatomy once.
That's true. Well, there's still time. We still got 20 minutes. The guy's name is Kentucker Audley.
That's the artist's name?
No, it's the video. He does a Rich. He does a Richie Rich video essay.
Got it. I thought you were talking about the Mount Rushmore guy.
No. That was made by was that one guy who made that? Goodson and Lincoln Borglum. That's even more ridiculous a name than Kentucker.
Yeah.
What makes this your favorite podcast so far? Just because we're
I don't know. I just feel like we're on a roll.
Are we?
I don't know. I'm feeling the vibes.
That's true. Maybe we're developing a rapport.
Ooh.
Well, now I'm getting nervous.
I'll change gears for you to distract you. Jefferson was also an architect. He built a home for himself called the Monticello.
Monticello?
Which is it? Monticello, which I think in Italian means like mansion or horse or something. And I think it's now a part of the Virginia University, I believe. And basically, Monticello has some good resources about what he called the hobby of my old age. Though architecture was a lifetime pursuit of Jefferson, Monticello and the University of Virginia are on the heritage list. I don't know what that sentence is. I must have deleted something. But
you got
basically,
notes?
he just I wrote some stuff down. I copied and pasted. Yeah.
No wonder we're on a roll. Due diligence.
Gotta have due diligence. Oh, it's scripts. We're scripted, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he just, like, he built this, like, crazy house. I think he originally built it for his wife, Martha, but unfortunately she died before it was completed. And then I think that became part of the university. If my research is correct, don't fact check me, don't at me.
Don't even look up our names, to be honest.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Don't just listen to our advertisements.
Look away. Don't even look at your whatever device you're listening on right now. Don't look at it. Stop it. I see you. You're looking at it. Don't do it.
We should do a fake commercial.
Away. Okay.
Just so we can.
What are we selling?
Well, it's not so much what we're selling. It's just that we're selling ourselves. You know.
Oh.
We're selling
like a little comedic like. Try molasses, only 89 cents a pound, or something like that.
Yeah. We could do
now
like
sponsored
a 50s. By. Well, we did.
Old Man Jenkins molasses.
Well, if we got someone a business woman or businessman an entrepreneur listens to this and they want to
sponsor us.
Well, let's give them a taste.
How do they contact us?
They don't. Yeah.
Oh wait, we have
How
an
would
email.
they contact us?
I made an email. Remember to log us into that thing. So let's do that.
Should we tell them our email? Wait, we should set a better password first.
We should see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. What I also think I like so far what's happening is we don't really know where this is going.
Yeah.
So it's happening live right now.
What if we just made 46 podcasts and just never released them because we never got around to it.
Just release all of them at the exact same time.
Podcast
when they signed the Declaration of Independence. Just have everybody watch. It's like you have to 46 hours worth of, or however many presents there are, of us talking.
Yeah.
And then we'll know who our true friends are.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I don't know if this makes good podcast material, but we should release the first one?
I mean, we can just upload all 3. And then start releasing them weekly. Well, if you want.
We should. What I was thinking is we could release the first one and then we have a buffer. So if we want to take a vacation.
Oh right. So if we skip a week, then that's true.
Or if we just didn't do our homework and then we're like, oh.
Right. Or if like a pipe
Christmas.
Bursts.
Yeah. I mean, when's Christmas?
Couple weeks.
Okay, that's not the day that we record. I'm not saying what day we record because that's when people will.
It's a day that ends in Y, the same day as that I drink.
Yeah.
What?
It's the same. It's the day that I go for a run sometimes.
Yes.
It's the day I go for. There's a 50% chance I'll go for a run. It could be any day.
Could be any day. And technically today we're doing it on a different day than we normally have done. So hey, now it's like
that is true.
We're out here.
Oh yeah.
Dodging.
I actually, when I said that, I was thinking of the other day.
Right.
But there's still a 50% chance I'd go for a run today.
It's already raining. Great quote from Mean Girls that I love is, "There's a 50% chance it's already raining."
Can you explain that to me?
No, she's just the character she was.
Is that Gretchen Wieners?
Not Gretchen Wiener. It was the other one. And I'm
Rachel McAdams.
Hating myself. No, the Lexus Cypher's character. Doesn't matter. But basically, she was a bit of the dumb character, and she said she had ESPN, meaning that she could
move stuff with her mind.
Yeah, and she becomes a meteorologist at the end of the movie, and it's raining outside, and she's like to the camera, "There's a 50% chance it's already raining, and it's currently raining outside."
Oh, I see.
That's my humor.
It's very niche, just one character of Mean Girls,
and none for Gretchen Wiener. Well, Thomas Jefferson was also really into archaeology. He loved bones. And he loved bones 16-year-olds.
Yeah. Oh, nice joke there.
He collected fossils and was obsessed with animals, especially the mammoth. Oh. He had bones of a mastodon displayed at the Monticello entrance and sent to him during his residency at the president's house. So he had dinosaur bones and mammoth stuff in the White House while he was president.
So,
he was a.
Should we give him a rating?
Ooh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Thomas Jefferson gets a lot of press. I don't know if he I don't know if he can. If he meets that high standard. Like, why is he on the Mount Rushmore? What did he do for me?
I mean, I guess he was just a founding father. Oh. Right? He was a lawyer and a diplomat.
Get in line.
I don't know. Yeah, true. Yeah, maybe he had connections. He was friends with a marquis in France, so I think he was like establishing.
Oh, that's true.
The money flow to come in for them to be able to actually have their revolution.
Do you remember last week I was telling about how they owed France money?
Yep.
Was that before or after this?
I think this was after, because that money the war happened, or the Civil War happened before George Washington was president. He didn't become president until a while afterwards. Because then once they kicked the British out, they're like, oh shit, now we have this country to run.
Oh, right.
What do we do now?
It's all coming back to me now. Because they had that quasi-war I was informing everyone about. That war that wasn't quite a war. So that, I guess,
Quasi's a great word.
Yeah, Quasimodo.
Great movie.
Do you know, have you ever, you don't have to have read it, but have you ever heard of a book by Victor Hugo?
I recognize the name.
He also wrote Les Miserables.
Oh, yes, that's it.
And he also wrote Hunchback of Notre Dame. But do you know how the book actually ends?
Quasimodo or Les Mis?
Quasimodo. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Quasimodo. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't he die?
Yeah. He okay, so he kills his master Frollo. Mm-hmm. But I think Frollo kills Esmeralda first. So Esmeralda dies.
Right.
So then
and he goes ape shit. It's like, you killed my girl.
Yeah. And then he kills Frollo. And then the tragedy is she was his only friend, so he just lays at her grave until he dies.
Aww.
Yeah, isn't that? It's kind of like The Notebook. Except the timing's off.
I feel like you're going to say that 42 times. There'll be something that happens, and you're like, it's like The Notebook.
They both die, except he kind of he doesn't have to die. He'd rather die because his only friend is dead.
I mean, I respect, actually, that I do agree that kind of is like The Notebook, because I feel like at the end, I don't really think he dies. He just lays there, but he's not actually ill. Technically he could have gone on and gone to an Arctic cruise and lived his life, but he was like, no, that's my wife.
His wife?
I'm just gonna lay here. Yeah, no, in The Notebook.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Quasimodo.
I know. I was talking about the architect of the Mount Rushmore.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Kentucky Alderson.
Kentucky Van
Jones.
Yeah. Jefferson was also a wine snob.
Of course, I could have guessed that.
Yeah. He loved French wine.
I guess he did.
And he brought a bunch of it back. Yep. He brought a bunch of it to America.
Like a child.
Yikes on a bike, as they say.
A child birthed from a child. Yikes.
Yep. Hashtag awkward. Double big L on Thomas Jefferson.
What was the age of consent back then?
Oh, it was probably... Well, I mean
these guys wrote the rules. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. It was probably 16, to be honest. I think you couldn't get married. I think you could get married basically once a woman had her menses. They were like, well, guess she's marrying age now.
Oh, really? That's quite...
Yeah. It was... Yeah, because the women's movement didn't come for a while. And I'm going to have to turn in my woman card because I don't know the date.
You could give it to me.
Oh, my woman card?
Yeah.
1970.
I'll take it for a spin. Are you talking about suffrage?
Yeah, I forget what year that was.
Wait.
Women's Sovereignty
1800s.
Act.
Do you think?
Yes.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Okay, if I guess,
you get my woman card.
I get your woman card.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me think here. Suffrage. 1860.
So I'm going to base this off of the Canadian Human Rights Act. Oh my God, I just said it. We're going to have to bleep it.
Well, I think they figured it out. you also...
Canadian, guys.
Yeah. Whoops. We're somewhere in that area.
North America.
Oh, we're talking about Canadian.
Yeah, I can look up the American one as well.
I don't think it would help me get this woman's card. What can I get with a woman's card? What privileges does it?
The privileges that are incur is that I would assume that what would it get you? I guess trust. You get into the women's circle. One of my favorite things. I'm already in the women's circle. Are you? Okay. Like when you go to a woman's bathroom, there's like a support circle that happens.
Oh, so I can go in the women's washroom now?
You can go to a women's washroom, and then it's like you could be a complete stranger, and they're like, man, I really like your outfit.
Sir, this is what... And I'm like, don't worry, I got a card.
Don't worry, and then you flash your woman card. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's great. I have had such great therapy with complete strangers in the bathroom before.
Oh, really?
Just like talking it out of like, oh my god, this happened, and then you move on away and you never see that person ever again. There's a weird like axis. It's usually nighttime. It's usually like out at a bar and you bump into someone. There's like a weird spell that's in women's bathrooms. Like we're all just friends there.
They're all women. I got one time in the men's washroom. A guy showed me his nipple. He said I have very small nipples. And that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Those are small. Wow.
So was there any like, did he just like flash it to you, or does like any like pre-conversation?
I think he just told me I have small nipples, and then he showed me his nipples, and I said, wow, you're not kidding.
You're not kidding.
I was also there with a friend, not Rent Daddy, but the other one.
I don't like that you say daddy. I just like dad. It's just rent dad.
Oh, sorry.
Rent father.
It kind of when I say
it's not
dad,
even rent. It's apartment dad. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, I guess rent daddy makes it seems
that
like
makes it.
It's
that's
implying
like,
that
there's some sort of agreement there that
some sort of monetary agreement.
Yeah, exchange.
Yeah.
Of bills that have Thomas Jefferson on them.
$2.
$2.
You gotta. you can do more than $2.
Up that up. Okay. Who's on the 20?
Who's on? Which? Yeah. Here. Let me see if I can remember. Let me think. No. Benjamin Franklin.
Right, because it said, "Well, what's in Benjamins?"
That's a 20. Is that 100 or 20?
I don't know.
Let me. American money. Well, I guess if we spill the beans on our country, our money is plastic monopoly money. Oh yeah, he's on the 100. Benjamin Franklin.
Okay, so there you go. Wow, Benjamin really.
Couple Benjamins.
Yeah. Oh, and the 20 is what's his face who has the fluffy hair.
I
forget his
name. Did we do this guy yet?
No, he's like the 5th president.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about his hair.
Yeah, he's got the Nicolas Cage bird hair.
Are we gonna have to get new money now that the Queen's dead?
Most likely.
We're gonna have Charles.
Yep.
We should just take them off. We should have Prince Andrew.
Well, that's what they'll probably decide, right? They'll probably be like, do we still want to do it or whatever? I mean, I don't know if Canada will ever separate, but we'll see. Anyways, give me a date. We gotta get you that woman's card.
Right.
Give me
Suffrage
a date.
for Canada?
Yeah.
I imagine Canada would do it before the States. But Canada also. So this is like when they got to vote, right? Women?
I believe so. Yeah. Let me make sure I got the right date because there's a couple things that happen in different years. Sorry for my clicky clacky keyboard. Okay, yeah, I got it. I got it. This is the wait.
I was thinking of hooking up the mechanical keyboard here.
Yeah, I have a date for the right to vote for women.
For Canada, for when women can vote in Canada. Okay, would it have been? I'm just thinking out loud here. Would it have been before or after the 1900s?
Oh, I forgot you said you were thinking out loud, and I almost answered you and gave you a hint.
I think I heard a yes there.
I didn't say anything.
But I said, is it before or after? And you said yes.
So they could have been either or.
So that is true. Yes, it's either before or after.
That is correct. It is between those two sections of
but
time.
not on that time. I really want to get this right because I want a woman's card.
It is not exactly the 1900s. It is a date different than that.
I just have to get the year though, right?
Yeah. I won't. You have to. If you could get the date, like the actual day, that'd be insane.
I become a woman. I get to become a woman.
Yeah, your ovaries appear.
I transform. A metamorphosis.
Yeah, it's like a Sailor Moon transformation.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
I'm gonna guess.
All right.
1886.
That is incorrect. I'm so sorry. You do not get a woman's card.
Oh.
May 24th, 1918.
Oh, okay. It was after.
Yeah, it was
after. I guess that was after the Titanic.
It was after the Titanic. They went, man, that Titanic really inspired me.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Man, really set things in perspective.
Yeah. So the wartime elections.
If women get a seat on the life raft, they should vote.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Okay, let me think there. Then I guess this was Canada. When did America?
I was just trying to find.
They probably did it after. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
20th century.
This is the dead noise where we're clicking and doing research on Tom.
Yeah. It makes good reading.
But the Canadian Human Rights Act of 1977 states that all Canadians have the right to equality, equal opportunity, fair treatment, and environment free of discrimination on the basis of sex, sexual orientation, marital status, and family status. But that's specific to not just the beginning of the Women's Sovereignty and the Women's Act. This was just what they did recently in 1977, which 1977 doesn't seem that long ago. 1977, there was a Canadian Human Rights Act that was pushed, which was basically, it wasn't specific to women, it was just everyone. Right. It was like, hey, whether you're gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever, everyone's equal, and you have the right to work, and you have the
human rights.
Just basic human rights.
I can't believe, think of this. Thomas Jefferson, a long time ago. Finally, women get the rights. It says here in the United States it was 1920. I guess, I don't know if this is to vote.
That's not.
1920, and then they get legal protections in 1965.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's not that long ago that, like, women were finally weren't people and, like, could own a credit card and go buy property.
Now they all have woman cards.
They always had to have. Yeah, we all have woman cards
congrats.
now. I'm happy I didn't have to give mine away. I really enjoy my woman card.
Yeah. You can still go to the washroom.
Yeah. I need that. I need that therapy, man.
Are you familiar with Ruth Bader Ginsburg's career?
I am adjacently familiar, but not thoroughly.
Do you know how she got women's? Okay, I'm gonna have to be careful that I don't spread false.
I mean, we're 57 minutes in, so if you do, we can just.
Oh yeah, we can always cut it. I could just start playing the theme song now.
Yeah. Or you can re-record something that's like, when they like badly.
I could just add in more typing, more silence and typing. Just 5 minutes of that. Okay, so the way that Ruth Bader Ginsburg got women's rights equal to men's was kind of by doing it backwards, where she made it so that women could get free beer or something like women could get beer cheaper, and then all the men got angry and said, hey, we have rights too, and then she said, okay, men and women are equal, and then
I like that.
That's how she did it. Sneaky Ginsburg.
No, it's sneaky, but it's also showing an example to someone, because I think that's the biggest thing. It's like,
I think that's genius. Like,
we're not asking for more. I'm like showing to you that this is just the difference, and it's like it's very easy just to be like, yeah, let's be equal.
And now she's dead, and now we got Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy Conibert. Yeah,
Now we have abortion.
R.B.G?
Now we can't get abortion. Well, we can get abortions.
Yes.
You can get an abortion.
Yes.
But I can't. Well, I could get one, I guess, if I wanted.
If you were involved in it technically, it is still
I can
that
take
woman's
a
choice.
pill.
But
I can put a pill in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all equal. I'll take.
We could put a balloon up your shirt
Yeah,
and then
pop it. I'll take the pill. And I'll say, wow, technology these days.
Yeah.
Do you okay, wait, we're not Americans, so I can tell people how to get abortions. Do you mind if
That's true. This is your source.
This is how we can wrap up the
Hey guys.
Okay,
we support choice.
And I support you just need to take 2 drugs. Miso and Faf and something like that. They have bigger names, but those are the street names.
Street names is Miso and Fafin.
Yeah, you got a Faf.
Together
you got a Faf and you got a Miso. One and the other. You buy it on the dark web, or even better, just buy it somewhere else. It's used for ulcers and horses. Get a pill press on Amazon. Just Google it. Just Google it. It's so easy.
How do you get to the dark web?
90%.
Do you just Google dark web?
You Google Tor, and then you download the Tor browser, and then you're on the dark web.
Wow.
It's that easy.
Wow.
Now you got
the dark web scares me a little bit. I'm not very computer savvy.
Well, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's just
why do they call it dark web if I'm not supposed to be scared of it?
It's like dark.
Just to keep the noobs away.
Yeah. It's just like dark because it's dark in a cool way, you know.
Oh, got it. Not like scary midnight. It's more like
it's like a campfire. It's like
snazzy.
It's a campfire.
Dusk time.
Yeah.
Did you?
All right, so we're about an hour here. Should we? Let's here.
Yeah,
let's.
That was it. Really about my
the end song there. Oh, there it is. Listen to that.
Wow, ain't that the truth?
Isn't that patriotic?
from us 2 Canadians.
Yeah. See the secret.
Learning.
They're starting to learn about.
3 episodes in, we're slowly releasing.
Yeah. We're getting sloppy. Soon we'll be saying our real names.
Well, I guess now that we start to talk about law, right, it's hard not to figure out different laws that happened in the different countries.
That's true.
Cool. Well,
nice talking to you. Nice learning about Thomas Jefferson in Dutch.
And to you, Deepthroat, and to you.
Until next week.